it's Lindy from Stitch and Lindy. I am wanting to do, I already did my weigh-in kind of on my Connect and on my Facebook group, but I wanted to kind of go over, and I thought that it was kind of fitting with me restarting yet again to do a new tips video. So I wanted to kind of just go over, especially for newbies, there's a lot of people that are starting. I know that there is a lot of people that have joined brand new after this, well, not after, but during this pandemic. A lot of people have been way off track. We're at home, we're eating more, we're stressed, we're stress eaters, we're just eating out a lot more. A lot of people, I know myself, even though I am actually, I don't know if I actually really am a stress eater or not, because normally when I'm stressed, I clean or I go for a walk. So I've always said that I'm not. But during this pandemic, I have ate a lot more, but my excuse has been that I am supporting local. So I've been ordering in. But as much as I enjoy supporting local, I need to stop. So I've actually cut back a lot. We've cut back to once a week. Which is huge. We were eating out almost every single day since the beginning of this pandemic, so it has been off the rails with eating out lately. So anybody else with me on eating out? We're supporting local. I will still support local, but only once a week. So I just wanted to go through some of my top tips to help out anybody that's new, anybody that might need some reminding of some tips. If anybody would like to add some tips as well, drop a comment below. A lot of people have always questioned where comments are, because YouTube for some reason changes where the comments are. It used to be you have to scroll all the way to the bottom past the extra videos all the way to the bottom and then the comments are there. It's now not there anymore. It's directly right below this video. So the comments are right below the video, so you don't need to scroll anymore. So if anybody wants to leave a comment, let me know of any other tips that they can think of or any tips that they use. Let me know. I'm just going to go through. I wrote a list. It actually was supposed to be a short list, but I've gotten a few. So I wanted to go through some that I've learned from other people and some that I also do myself. So my biggest tip that I do all the time, and it helps more than you will ever know. And it actually goes for more than just this one item, but I grate and weigh my cheese. Grating your cheese, you have no idea how far it goes. You could cut off a slice of cheese and it's 10 grams. 10 grams for one slice, and that's 1 point. Where if you were to grate 10 grams of cheese, on pizza nights, I could get away with covering an entire pizza with 15 grams of cheese. You can do it. Trust me, grating your cheese goes a long way. So make sure you're weighing and grate your cheese. That's one of the biggest things. There's so many other food items that you can weigh and go a lot more further. Another tip that I have further down here is I tend to, and I know this doesn't sound the best, but I tend to look at our WW points as a game. So think of when you're playing a game. What is the best bang for your buck or points that you're going to get? And that's how I look at it as. So try and get the most out of your points that you can by being sparingly or finding tips like this that will make it go longer. Also, another thing to go to that is being smart about your points. So make sure you are using it wisely. Yesterday, my lunch was not being smart about my points. I had 2 hot dogs, which a lot of you guys saw, which was 18 points for my lunch. Normally, I never have that many points unless I'm going out for a meal or treating myself and having takeout. So 18 points was huge, but Paige wanted hot dogs. And as soon as she said it, I just really craved them. I actually don't normally eat a lot of hot dogs at home. I will eat them if we're at a fair or at a barbecue or something, but it's not something that I tend to normally make a lot of. So it was just something on the spur of the moment we were craving, so that's what we had. But anyways, I was not smart with my points. So try to be smart with your points. Try to make those points spread out further. Grate your cheese, and 15 grams would go a lot farther. It can cover an entire pizza opposed to just one slice that would be eaten in half a second. So there's that way of being smart, and looking at it as a game, try to get the most out of your points. So if you can have this type of cheese for this many points, or this type of cheese for this many points, where you could have more of this cheese because it's lower, or even bread. Also, going back to weighing, weigh your bread, because if you look at a loaf of bread, there's not one slice in that loaf of bread that is the same size. So if you look on the back, based on the nutritional value, it's actually based on the weight. If you look at I think it's grams that it's in. If you weigh your bread, it's a lot different than what's actually just tracking 2 slices of bread, because the weight is off on every single piece of those loaf of bread, because it's not the same. A loaf of bread goes narrower, wider, and then narrower. So make sure you're weighing everything. It really helps. I have my kitchen scale. It sits on top of my microwave, so it's out in front of me. I see it every single time I come in my kitchen. If it's out of mind, a lot of us practice out of sight, out of mind, which is great when it comes to snacking. But when there's certain things that help us, it's so much better to have it out. So I always keep my scale out on my kitchen counter. So that is another good tip that I go by. An amazing tip, and I actually, I drink a lot of water. A lot of people always comment on how much water I drink. But a really good tip, and I really liked it because it's almost like I'm a list writer, so checking off the boxes each day is something that's very helpful for me. So if anybody struggles with drinking water, Jamie, she fills her water bottles every single morning and has them in the fridge. So she knows once all these water bottles are done, her goal is met for her water. If she has any more, then even better, but her goal is met when she finishes her water bottles, and they're stored in your fridge all day, so they're cold for you. So that was a really good tip that Jamie gave me over a year ago, I'd have to say, and I've loved it. That's always stuck in my mind, and I really need to try doing that, because I fill up my water bottle so much through the day, but having one already ready to go in the fridge, just like prep, it's part of your prep, right? So you can prep that every morning, but that's in your fridge and ready for you throughout the entire day. So another thing actually I just saw, which actually triggered me to start doing this list today, was a Connect member called Kimber Fuds. She posted up that she is down 100.1, I believe it was, pounds as of today. Oh my God, congratulations. Like, that's amazing. But what she did to celebrate, because she wanted to celebrate, was she does not drink. So in a little champagne flute, she actually had Diet Pop. But she also made a cake. And I don't know why I never thought of this. I look at the mug cakes at WW all the time, and I think, I can make that myself. That's so expensive. I don't need that. And there's so many times that I look at these things and think I can make it myself. But when you're making it at home, you're making it with more sugar, there's so many different ways. So if you're wanting to celebrate, or even if you're going to a barbecue, or you're celebrating a birthday, anything, just wanting a dessert, this is such a great tip. So what she did was she took one of the mug cakes, so it's 3 points. She took a low fat or low sugar, no sugar Jell-O pudding cup, which is 2 points. So it's not necessary that you have to have this, but it was just a nice topping. And then you can have, they're 2 points for the pudding cup, sorry. And then the Cool Whip is 3 tablespoons for 1 point. So I don't know if she whipped the pudding with the Cool Whip or just topped it all like a trifle kind of thing, which that would be delicious. Take your mug cake, take your pudding, and take your Cool Whip. You got an amazing trifle for 6 points. So that's a great idea, and what an amazing tip for, especially now with barbecues coming up, or when COVID passes, so many people have birthdays to celebrate. So this is a great idea to have, to bring along, and it's so easy. Just bring the mug cake and a little pudding, and you've got your Cool Whip. So you can put that in a container and bring with you. So it's something that's very simple. You can make in the microwave if you're going to someone else's house, so you don't have to make it ahead of time. So simple. I love that idea, and I'm definitely giving that a try. I actually think I've pointed out Betty Crocker's mug cakes as well, and they're not too high. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure I pointed them out and they weren't that high. I will check them the next time I go to the grocery store. I'll double check what their points are. But another amazing tip that has helped me so much along the way is cutting down or going as low as possible on your starch. And that is from Bill Huck. Bill gives so many amazing tips on starch, lowering your starch. Bill, I would love, and I know it's more inspiration that you post than anything, but I'm so interested in seeing what you and Hetty eat. Would you share some of your meals or pictures or even substitutions that you guys do for your starch? Let me know, please, Bill and Hetty. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what you guys do for your substitutions for starch, or what kind of meals you have that you eliminate your starch. Even if you don't make an alternative, I'd love to see them. If any of you do not follow Bill or haven't seen, as he calls them, the long ass winded post by Bill, check out BB Huck. I can never remember the date. It's an email address and it will come up right away. Just put in BBHUK and he will come up right away. And I'm dubbing you Wild Bill with that hair, by the way, Bill. And check out Hetty, his wife. I can never remember you guys' names on there. It's Mama number 2, and then it's the first initials of their children's names. So check them both of them out. Bill always gives her a shout out too, because they're an amazing couple, an amazing pair. You need to check out their pages because they're very inspirational. Anybody new to Connect or hasn't checked them out, do it, because they're definitely inspirational. Another thing that I find is that if I'm ever struggling or just trying to get back on your feet, if you have been struggling, post nonstop if you need to. Post what your struggles are. Post any accomplishments that you're doing. The amount of feedback and encouragement that you will get from your Connect family and just the community itself is out of this world. If you are ever struggling, and I can tell you, if you are struggling, make a post on Connect, and probably by the end of the day, if not within a couple hours, you will be saying, I'm kicking my butt, because everybody will give you a kick in the butt, will give you the inspiration that you need, will build you up. I've never had anybody bring me down on a post where I'm talking about struggling or talking about where I'm doing good. And if somebody does bring you down, somebody will shout them out. I can tell you that right now. The Connect family has got everybody's back. I can tell you that right now. So if you are struggling, I definitely recommend being honest. Be open with your journeys. Talk about what's going on. Discuss what you're struggling with. You're not alone. I can 100% tell you that. Not one person through these journeys are alone. And I can tell you, so many people have messaged me and said, I'm exactly where you are and going through exactly what you're going through, just from a struggling post. And having so many people just encourage you and build you up when you're struggling, it's exactly what you need. And there's so many people in my life that don't understand and I call it selfishness. I will take it. I'm selfish. When it comes to weight loss, I need to have somebody saying, you can do this. You're amazing. You're an inspiration. You've got this. You need to have that because it builds you up. And that is what Connect is. And when I first started, I've said it so many times, it's cheesy. When I started going to meetings, everybody was clapping at everything. Somebody went out for a walk around the block. We're clapping. Somebody lost a pound. We're clapping. And let me tell you, that 1 pound is huge. Everybody comes into WW expecting an enormous loss on their first couple weeks. I never had it. I still haven't had it. So don't think that it's going to happen for everybody. It's not going to happen for everybody. If you are, and I have prided myself for so long on, this is a lifestyle change. You have to make sure, and that is the number one key. You need to make sure that this is a lifestyle change and not just looking at this as a diet. You have to make that trigger in your head that this is a lifestyle change. Otherwise, it's not going to go anywhere. And I can be honest with you. My head hasn't been in the game for a long time, way beyond before March. And I'm struggling to get back, but I'm getting here. But I can tell you, you have to make sure that that lifestyle change is set in your mind. So if you know that you can't cut out snacking at nighttime, a lot of people can try and cut it out and have succeeded on doing it. Intermittent fasting is the only thing that helps me cut out snacking at nighttime. It's the only thing. And snacking, and I've said it for years, I can't cut out nighttime snacking. But the matter of fact is that as much as I can say I can't cut out snacking, I know I have to, because I can't change what my snacking is at nighttime. So my snacking, when I am snacking, is chips, it's cake, it's cheesecake, it's all the crappy things that we don't need and are going to bump and take away our weeklies, so we're not going down to being smart with our points. So that's where I know, as much as I can say I can't cut out snacking at nighttime, I know I have to. But then there's other people like Jean-Luc and Nip, the WW Gays. If anybody hasn't checked them out, you need to check them out, because they also have their own way of doing it and amazing tips that can help everybody. They have different ways of, everybody in this journey has different ways of looking at things. And take something from everybody that you talk to. It helps in so many different ways, from looking at and listening to every single person's journey and seeing what all of them look at different things. So Jean-Luc and Nick know that they can't cut out snacking, but what they do is they make sure that their meals are low, if not zero, throughout the day, so they have those points for snacking at night. And they have their bowls. They make up their bowls and they sit down, and that's what they have for their snacking. So if you can do it that way, then you can do it. I know that I can't. I need to cut out snacking because I don't snack on the proper things. I have gone for so long, which is it's been a huge help, but just being able to cut it out completely has helped a lot too. So I have cut up from the dollar store. There's fruits and veggie trays that you can get where you put the dip in the middle and there's 4 to 6 trays around it. And I cut up fruits and veggies. I make it a mix of everything. Fruits, veggies, anything you can think of. And put it in that, and then every night I bring that out. If I feel like snacking, I will snack on that. I stop my snacking at 8 o'clock though. After that, it's only herbal tea and water, and that's it. So if you're able to do that, do that, but you need to make sure it's a lifestyle change that you can live with. If you're going to be implementing food that tastes like cardboard, or food that doesn't taste right, food you don't normally like, by all means, I'm so open to trying new foods, but don't incorporate foods that you don't like and you're forcing yourself to eat it, because it's not going to be something that's going to last. You can't do that. You have to experiment and try new recipes. Check out all of the amazing recipes that are on the Connect app. There's so many WW recipes that are amazing, and they don't necessarily make them the lowest points possible. You can still play with them to make them lower, or change something to an ingredient that you would like better. So play around with them. Get experimental in the kitchen. It definitely helps. Another thing is making sure to take measurements and progress pictures. If you have not done so, stop what you're doing right now and take them. Take your measurements. Go upstairs, take off all your clothes other than your bra and underwear, and take a progress picture. Even if you're just keeping it to yourself, I can 100% tell you, on those days through your journey that you're struggling, take another one. Take another progress picture and compare them. There's apps that are called like Pic Stitch or Pic Collage, and you can crop them so that they're beside each other, and I am telling you, you will see the difference, and it will lift your spirits and kick your butt in gear. I'm telling you, the most I've lost on WW, and I've gained it all back now, but I have lost 20 pounds, and because I'm 5'0", I'm a short ass, I am shocked, and Bill has told me so many times, and Bill, it's the best compliment I've ever heard in my life. He always said that he was so shocked at how much of a difference it made in my stomach with just not just, it's 20 pounds, but compared to 100.1 pounds, 20 pounds to me seems like nothing, even though it's an amazing amount. And that's another thing, is lose the word just. You're not just losing 1 pound. You're not just losing half a pound. You are losing that pound. It's not just. That's hard to lose. Trust me. I'm famous for going down half a pound or 0.5 pound, 0.6, which is exactly what I lost this week. Yay, my first loss, and probably, although I actually dropped 2 weeks ago, but it was not just, it was water weight, but this was actual, I lost 0.6 pounds, and I'm so excited. I feel like it's the kick that I needed this week to get me back on track. But just losing your minimal of what you're wanting to lose, it makes a huge difference by looking at progress pictures, and I can tell you it gives you such a boost that you need. So take your measurements, take your progress pictures, even if it's only for yourself. I always say to my husband, I'd hate if somebody stole my phone, because they'd have 1,000 pictures of me standing looking at myself in the mirror in my bra and underwear, because I have so many of them, because I need to go back and look at different points in my life and see where I was at this point, where I was. If you want to just start from the beginning and take one and then delete and keep staying back there, that's up to you. But I take one probably every week, every 2 weeks, or any day that I'm struggling. If you are struggling, go take a picture. Either have it as your progress picture or make it as your starting progress picture. So that is huge. It's a huge tip. I have been taking pictures, and I take pictures of everything way too much. But it's just something that has helped me throughout my journey. It's 99% of this journey is mindset. And if there is one small thing that can help boost your mindset, do it. Do it as much as you need to possible. Post it if you need to. Posting keeps me accountable. Doing these videos keeps me accountable. Making my Facebook page and posting keeps me accountable. I take pictures of every single piece of food that goes in my mouth, and then I haven't been doing them lately, but doing it every single day. Use that pick stitch or pick collage and show your collage of food that you've eaten throughout the day. Write your food journals every single day. I post them every single day because it keeps me accountable. You also then have them to look back on and say, okay, where could I go better? What did I do better that day than today? You have so many ways that you can look back and see your progress, or see where you can work on, what you can do better, what you are doing better on, and just look back on there. I now have a collage of that, looking back on my journey, because you can look back at every single post that you've ever made on your WW app and say, okay, this was a great meal, or this was a great recipe, or this was a great day. I want to follow that day how I did it. So many different ways. I highly recommend taking pictures of your food. It helps me huge, and I can tell you the most compliments I ever get is when I share my food pictures, because it gives people different variations of food that they can try as well, and gives them ideas of new recipes they can try as well. So take pictures of food, share them. Tag me on them. I love seeing other people's food. Post your weigh-ins. Post your weekly weigh-ins. Even though our centers are closed right now, this gives us the opportunity to make sure we're weighing in the morning. I always had my weigh-in at 7 o'clock at night, so it always kicked my butt when you always weigh lighter in the mornings. But this is our opportunity to weigh in the morning. So do your weigh-ins in the mornings now, if you weren't already. But post your weigh-ins on Connect. I make sure that I go out of my comfort zone in my journey, because otherwise I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm just going to continue to eat out. I'm just going to continue to eat like crap. I'm going to binge at nighttime. I'm not going to care. I'm going to drink my beer on these hot days. By the way, if anybody hasn't noticed, on Blue, light beer has gone up from 3 points to 4. So make sure you guys are checking your regular items that you're scanning, because I think some changes have happened. But yes, Bud Light has gone up to 4. It's not 3 anymore. So now I really need to minimize my beer in the summer. But yeah, post your weigh-ins. Whether it's a plus, whether it's a minus, whether you stayed the same. And staying the same is amazing. You're maintaining. That's what we're all working towards. We're trying to get to that point where we can maintain and get to it. So if you're staying the same, kudos to you. That's amazing. It's better than a gain. So don't always look at not losing because maintaining is better than anything. That's the goal that we're trying to get to. So don't always look at it as a gain not a loss is a bad thing, because it's not. So taking videos like this is something that also keeps me accountable. Like I said, putting myself out there, the reason I started putting myself out there, doing my YouTube channel, doing these videos, taking pictures, was to put myself out there, make myself uncomfortable, so that I was keeping myself held accountable, so that I knew next week I need to come back to this and do this again and show everybody that I am doing this. So I need to get back there, and I need to put out more videos. I need to be taking my pictures. I'm going to be doing it, and I'm holding myself accountable now by putting that out there on this video. Looking back on your trackers, like I said, taking those photos helps you look back on your trackers and allows you to see where you can do better, where you did do better, maybe recipes that you want to try again. Tracking is number one. If you are not tracking and you are not using your app, you're not using the program, you're not following the program. These tools are put into place for us to use them, and if you are following this to a T, tracking everything you're doing, keeping within your points, and keeping within your points does not mean always getting a blue dot. That could mean staying within your healthy eating zone but still under your points, staying within your healthy eating zone but over your points, using up all your weeklies. You can do that. Those points are there for you to use. As long as you don't go over, that's when it's starting to get an issue, and you need to look back on your trackers and say, where can I change? But if you are staying within your points, weeklies and dailies, and staying within your healthy eating zones, you're following the program. That's exactly what's put in place, and I've said it multiple times. This is weight loss for dummies. If you are doing it, you will lose weight. You will see progress. If you're tracking everything, track everything, no matter what it is. If it's a piece of cake that you had somewhere that you didn't bring your mug cake idea for, then track it. If you go over your points, you go over your points. But guess what? That's your treat day. You can't use those weeklies again because they're gone. So make sure that you are tracking everything, no matter what it is. Sign in the morning and track. If you know what you're having through the day, then track what you're having. Track before you eat. If you are tracking before you eat and it's an item that is new and you haven't had it, you're tracking it, you will see what it is, and you will know if, okay, maybe I should choose something else instead. Remove it and track the next thing that you think that you might have. If it's a meal that you know you're going to have, track it in advance. If it's a meal that you already know the points for, just do a quick add and add the points. Just make sure you're tracking so that you can make sure you're staying on program and following it. Tracking's the number one key. And also, tracking gives you wellness wins. So that goes back to being smart about your points and looking at this as a game. If you are tracking and you are doing this, so you're tracking your activity, you're tracking your food, you're tracking your water, you're tracking your weight, you're weighing in weekly, you're earning wellness wins. So to do that, you're getting the prize that's at the end of the game, which is not only losing that weight and getting closer to your main goal, but you're also being able to be rewarded with these. Who doesn't want rewards? We're already eating, so why not track it and get rewards towards getting gifts? And if anybody hasn't noticed, Wellness Wins was updated. It's no longer just feed the community, which has been amazing, but I want my rewards. I'm sorry, and that might be another selfish thing that I say, but I want my rewards. So I finally, and the new gifts have been added. So I was able to get the salad jars, which has the built-in salad cup on it. So I do not eat enough salad. So I'm hoping that these salad bowls or salad jars will give me the kick that I need so that I can prep my salads and have it ready for lunchtime. So that's what my goal is. I'm hoping. I'd love to get 2 more and have a set of 4 for the entire week, but we will see. I do really like the keychain holder as well, so that might be my next buy. We'll see. Keeping busy is another key that helps me because I do intermittent fasting. So keeping busy in the morning, getting my dishes done in the morning, making sure my floors are swept in the morning, doing the schoolwork with the kids in the morning. Just make sure you're keeping busy in the morning. And then that way, it will not only, if anybody's wanting to try intermittent fasting, it helps because I don't normally eat until between 12 and 2. So that really helps me with my mornings being busy because then I'm not always thinking about food. But throughout the day, keeping busy as well, it helps to not think about food. You drink more water because you're busy and you're dehydrated and you need to drink more water. Drinking more water also keeps you fuller, so you're not going to be snacking and being peckish. So that's another idea as well. At nighttime, find crafts to do. I've been picking up my diamond painting, which I've had here for years and haven't completed them, so I've been picking that up again. That keeps you occupied. Trust me, you're not going to be eaten with that. Crafting, doing crocheting, knitting, any kind of craft, any kind of thing that you want to do. Fold the laundry. Save all your laundry until nighttime. Bring the basket down in front of the TV and fold it. WWG is another good tip that they always say is they save their TV shows for at the gym. So when they're working out, if they're on the treadmill at the gym, that's when they want watch their shows. So download any TV channel apps. You can watch shows on there. You watch your Netflix on there. Anything like that. Watch your YouTube channel. Binge your YouTube channels. That's actually how I started, was watching WWGs while on the treadmill, and I would binge all of their past videos because I had started watching them after they had already started, but they only had about, I want to say 15 videos, so I was catching up on them while I was on the treadmill. So that's another good idea. If anybody hasn't watched all my videos, go on back. Maybe I should rewatch my videos. Rewatching your own videos helps as well because it helps you to remember tips that you've had. It also helps you just to kind of see where you've come from, where you've progressed, where you have progressed and where you still need to. So it can help with working on things as well. A huge thing that helped me throughout my journey was Aqua Exercise at Aqua Aerobics. I was doing Aqua Fit. There is Aqua Zumba. There's Aqua boot camps. There's so many, and doing stuff in the water is such low impact. If you're up at the cottage or you live on the water, just go in the lake. Go in the lake and start doing your regular exercises that you would do on land. Do some squats, do some running, swim back and forth. Aqua aerobics is so low impact and you don't realize how much it helps. Dance in the water. Turn the music on the dock and dance. There's so many things you can do in the water that help, and it's so low impact because you're in the water, you don't even realize it. The last tip that I have, I know this video's gone longer than I expected, but keep positive. Always stay positive. Negativity brings around negativity, so don't, if there's negative comments that are put on your page, if there's a negative connector that's posting on your page or any comments that you ever get, you can block them. Block anybody that's negative or that you feel that brings you down. Keep the negatives out. Spread positivity. Even if you are not a poster on Connect and you don't normally post pictures of yourself or you're not comfortable doing that, post a positive quote on your page. Do it every single morning. The amount of comments and feedback that I get by posting a positive quote on my Connect every single day it's amazing to see the feedback that you get just from posting a positive comment. So even just try that if you're not a regular poster, but keep the negativity out. If you find that you are a negative person yourself, you need to try and start looking at the positive in things. Okay, fine, you gained this week, but it could have been worse. You could have gained even more. You could have had bad health. You could have eaten worse. You could have not had a job this week. You could have... There's so many different things that you can look at that would be so much more negative that you need to brush that off. Look at the positives. If you need to, every single day that you're feeling negative, write out a pros and cons list. Where's your positivity that came out of today? Where's your negatives that happened today? You will see that your positives are always, always much longer. You have running water, you have food, you had a meal on the table, your children are happy, your animals are healthy, the sun is shining, it's hot out. There's so many positive things that you can look at, and you have to look at every single little thing in life to see that there's so much positivity that's surrounding us, and that we need to just brush off the negativity because it's not going to do us any good. Negative will bring more negative. So always keep more positive. The more positive you have, the more positivity will come your way. So that is the end of my tips. I hope you guys like these. It was a little bit more long-winded. Bill, I'm taking after you. I'm being long-winded again. But I'm hoping to get more videos coming out, at least my weekly videos coming out. Hoping maybe I can do some more recipe videos. I actually have had a lot of feedback on my cauliflower shepherd's pie. I actually did also make a vegan shepherd's pie. I know a lot of people give me slack for that, but it's a vegan version or vegetarian version, if you want to call it that, of shepherd's pie. It's not necessarily, I got a lot of slack of the actual word shepherd's pie because of where it actually originated from, but my husband tries to eat vegan, so I try to find different recipes that I can, so maybe I'll showcase those recipes. I also do have a cauliflower dough recipe that I actually prefer over the 2-ingredient dough recipe for my pizzas. So, and it's very versatile. So maybe I'll show that. But yeah, this is I guess this is my weigh-in video as well. So I was down 0.6, so I'm down, as of the WW app, 3.2 pounds. By my calculations, I'm down 3.8. So we'll get back there, but it's still a loss. I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. It's been sunny. I've been sitting out back every single day. Eating dinner outside on your back deck is such an amazing feeling. Everybody needs to do it. If you don't like sitting outside and you're worried about bugs, get an umbrella. Trust me, it blocks it. I've been trying to teach my husband that. Anyways, I hope you guys all had a great week. Let me know how your weigh-ins went if you do weigh in on Thursdays, or if you've already weighed in this week, let me know how your week's gone. How's your week going? Do you have any other tips that you'd like to share with me or share with everyone else? Another big thing is make sure that you check on Connect, the hashtag newbie. So many tips always, and there's also a newbie group, so check that out on Connect. I hope you guys all have a great week. If you do want to follow me on Connect, my handle is Stitch and Lindy, and on Facebook, my weight loss group is Stitch and Lindy's Weight Loss Journey. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great week.